Hi, this is a solution to my challenge 1. So this is the Unity markup. So challenge 1, I have 3 scripts: the follow script, the follow player script, the player controller, and of course the spin propeller. So the instruction is to make sure that everything works as possible. So here at the beginning, the plane is going backward. So I just went to my player controller. I make sure, because at the beginning this was like I think it was not there or something. I cannot really remember what was there. So I just make sure, yeah, it was back before. So I make sure it's going forward. And then that is the solution for the first one. Then for this one, the plane is going too fast. I introduce this time delta because this makes sure that it's multiplied by times 1 second, not like times the frame actually. And the next one is the plane is tilting automatically. Yeah, it is because if I remove this one, this vertical input, it doesn't listen to my vertical input. Once I start it, at every frame, it just updates. So it just keep updating and updating this. So I introduce this vertical input, which is just getting the axis. Then yeah, there we go. Then the seventh one, the solution that I did is that the camera is in front of the plane. So what I did there, let me bring back my stuff. So I reposition this to have this location. So there's something around 30. But the most important thing here is also this angle, because now I can just change it to, let's say, 90, and we see what happened. So let me try to play it maybe on max. Then it's just on the other side, so basically I cannot see. But then if I just translate it on the opposite side, then there we go. So I'm going to play it again and we can see. So yeah, there was something here like this. So yeah, you can already start playing the game for you so you can see. And of course it's going down. Then you can see, and that's it. So yeah, so I minimize this one. Then the next one is camera is not following the player or the plane in this instance. So what I did there basically is using this follow player script. I of course first get an offset, because remember I've already offsetted this by 30 and 10, the camera at the beginning, which we have a 30, 0 and 10. Then I went to my what's it called, my camera, to of course to follow this script, putting this script on the camera itself. So it's kind of using this script, then it's following the camera, of course, the player, of course, with an offset, because then otherwise if the offset is not there, then it cannot really be set properly. So that is that about that. And the last bonus part is like what was it, the propellers does not spin. Yeah, this is very easy to do, I think. So there was this rotation transform, and using of course to rotate around the Z, because that's why I put the forward, because the forward is the Z, and that is being updated at every frame. So basically when the hi, welcome to my challenge 2. This is a solution. So let's quickly play the game and see what happens. So I can actually spawn dogs at certain interval and it collides and it disappears. That's what it's all about. And if I press spacebar at any time, it doesn't actually spawn. So let's see the question, the challenges, and the solutions that I made. So I'll go back quickly. It's just a recording again because the first one was too long. So dogs are spawning at the top of the screen. So I should make it like it's only balls, not the dog. So this is pretty easy. Just go to spawn manager. So I put here, it was I think it was dogs before. Now I put it to ball. And I think the next one was actually the player is spawning green balls instead of dogs. So here it's pretty much also the same. So I'm supposed to spawn dog here, not the green balls. So I just changed it also. On the next one, it's about the balls are destroyed even anywhere near the dog. Yeah, I think this is pretty easy. If I go to my dog prefab, I can easily go to the prefab itself by just of course open. Yeah, so this is the main thing. I just make sure that this is like small enough. It's within the boundary. Maybe I put it into not necessarily ISO, but the back, maybe here. Yeah, or maybe here is better. Okay. Anyway, something like this. Yeah, so I can easily just adjust it if I want. So it was too big before, that's why we have that problem. So that is fixed. I can go back. So then the next one is actually about nothing is being destroyed off the screen. This is about the limits now, and I think I came here and I set the limits. So I got something around this place. Let me see. So around here I got like minus 42 or something here, and of course also the bottom limit. Then I think it was like greater than here before, which I think was wrong. Of course it should be less, because minus 50 is of course is less than minus 42, for example. Change that. Then of course I also change this to y, because the vertical axis in Unity is actually y, not z, and that fixed that. And the next one is nothing is only one type of board is being spawned. I think if I go to spawn manager, is because there was a fixed like an index here. If you go to, what was it? Here it was only 0 here, so I changed it using this random index generator, and that actually fits that. And bonus, this span interval is always the same. And I think where did I go here? I'll try to remember where I did this one. So instead of using invoke repeating, I just like use a recursion, and I just call it every time within this time specified. The player can spawn the space bar several times. So going to player controller, so setting the fire rate, so the frequency, let's say waiting time 1.1, 0.5, anything you want, you can just set it. And of course this is the next fire time, and that will accumulate over time with the current time. So coming here, before we have only that, of course, when the space bar is pressed, but here there's also an additional I think this is wrong. This should be time. I don't know what happened there. Time the time, if time the time is greater than the next time, I think this should work now. So input dot this, and of course the current time is greater than the next time. Then I just had it. I reset this next time by adding the current time with the fire rate. So let's assume now it is 0.2, and I had 1.1, and that will just be 1.3. Then it is when it is greater that I can actually, like, when the current time is greater than the next firing time, then that is the only time I can actually like allow the player to spawn another time. And I think that's it. Thanks. Hi, this is solution to challenge 3 of Create with Code. So this is my solution from Unity, and then I'll quickly take you through the questions. For example, the challenges: the player cannot control the balloon. What I figured out is from the code, like the components from the player controller, this rigid body component was not properly selected, if I remember correctly. So we have to actually select it, because it's actually on the game object, the player game object. So the next one is the background only moves when the player is, when the game is over. And I think this is from the move left script, because it's supposed to be like if it is false, of course, then this can move. So when the game is not over, then it should translate to the left. Otherwise, it should not. Whereas I think we didn't have this before. Of course, I could have just used this exclamation mark also. It's the same. And of course, the next one is no objects are being spawned. And I think because there was this spelling problem, I think it was P something. So I just corrected it and it works. And the next one is fireworks appear to the side of the balloon. I think I did that from the editor itself. Fireworks was somewhere here, so I just like reposition it to be here, and using all this kind of translation tool. And that's that about that. And the next one, it's about the background is not repeating properly. I think I remember what was the problem. So it was from repeat background, and it was, I think the mistake was this was actually on the Y, and of course, as we know, Y is the up and down, so this is wrong. So, but of course, we only need the X component, the left and right component. So then we can, of course, actually repeat the width and divide it. Then the bonus part, the balloon cannot flow way too high. I think from the player controller script, there should be something about is low enough. There's this boolean. Then when you come to this code, I'm checking the situation. I also set an upper bound, and I think I set it to be 15. It might just be something around that area. So if you look at this here in the game, maybe perspective is good. In the game somewhere here, somewhere, I just calculated somewhere there. And then after that, I check the situation. If it is low enough, of course you're going to send it to, if it is greater than the upper bound, so if the y component, which is the up and down, is greater than the upper bound, then of course I send it to is low, is false, otherwise I send it to true. Then I was only listening to if the space bar is being pressed and game is not over. I also added like and the is low is true, so it's only conditional. Okay, is it low enough, then of course it can move up, otherwise if it is too high then it doesn't move up. And I think here there was this one last bonus question also. Just a moment quickly. And bonus, the balloon can drop below the ground. Yeah, I think I also check some, I put a tag on the ground object from here. There was this ground, yeah, I tag it, then I just check, I compare the tag. So if the if the balloon is touching the ground, so I want to put some little bit upward force, like some where was it, I think, yeah, here there was this like little bit impulse, jumping force with some immediate impulse. And of course also playing the audio one shot, yeah, of course by this volume, and I just selected this audio player audio. I give it, yeah, there was this bounce sound, I think that's what I use, the bounce sound. Then I just do it like this. So that is how I solve this challenge 3, and I can quickly play the game. You just see quickly, maybe I'm not the best on this, but we'll see how much I can go. So I go now. Good. Good. Hopefully I get, I didn't get that. So I think that's that about that. Maybe it's good enough now. Yeah, I didn't get that either. Okay, maybe one more try and we see if I can get anything. That's the end. Thank you. Hi, this is solution to my challenge 4. So we start with hitting an enemy, send it back towards you, and this is because from the player controller we had some transform position in the wrong way, which I think is somewhere here. Yes, this one. So it was like supposed to be removing the transform position of the player from the enemy, not the other way around. And a new wave spawn when the player gets a power up from the spawn manager. In the updates, it was actually checking the power up, it's not the enemy, so that's why it was not actually working. And then the power up never goes away, so we're supposed to use a coroutine here. I think it should be somewhere here. Yeah, start coroutine was not really called with the power up cooldown, because then you can call this function at an interval to count down power up duration. And the power up never goes away. I've said that 2 enemies are spawned in every wave. If we go to the spawn manager, for example, here in the for loop, it was only 2 here. That was why. Because if we look at these enemies to spawn, we call it somewhere here at the beginning of this. Yes, enemies to spawn, and when we call this function spawn enemy wave, we actually have this. So yeah, and then the enemy balls are not moving anywhere. The enemy balls should go towards the player. Yeah, I think that is because we did not actually take the player goal from the thing from here. Yeah, we can check quickly. So we did not actually select the component itself, that's why. So we actually need to select it from the entire game, then that will be okay. So the player needs double boost, so that's pretty easy to do. So of course at the beginning, setting the double boost variable, and then trying to like listen if there was a space bar being pressed here, and of course put some impulse force. Then after putting some impulse force, of course also play some animation, but then it's actually based on the fact that I need to go back to the old stuff itself, to the editor, and of course attaching this smoke particle. Then after that, I need to go to my player and just try to select it as the smoke, the double smoke, put the prefab there. That fixed that. And the last one, it's about the enemies never get more difficult. Now I just have to set the enemy speed. I think somewhere from the spawn manager, of course, the enemy speed is here at the beginning. Then of course I increase it every time. by 25. I can increase it by even 50, anyone I want, just to make it more difficult. Then at the end of the day, I select the script itself here. Then I set the speed of the enemy to this, because I get the components, one manager, and of course I just select the speed. And I think, yeah, that's it. So I'll quickly play the game now, and then yeah, maybe I maximize and play so it's easier. So go now, I play, then I can put a double boost, for example, and I just hit it. Then I go quickly for it. I can just get some some props quickly. It can last there for a few seconds. Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah, okay, he's not there. It's not gone yet. Yeah, just go attack it. Okay, then now it is reset, but now the speed is increasing. Of course, that's what I wanted to show. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Thank you. Hi, this is solution to challenge 5. So at the beginning, I think we have this about the difficulty button looks so messy. Yeah, just come here, because inside the canvas we have this text. For example, if I put it to something like this, so I just arrange it nicely for everything. And the next one, it's about the food is being destroyed too soon. Is from this place. Yeah, it was on enter before, so I changed it to on mouse down, not only when the mouse enter it, but when you actually press it. Then the next one is about the score is being replaced by the word score. Yeah, there is this update score, which of course we are passing the value based on if you have reached the target or not. But if we go to the game manager, I think there was this text about update score somewhere. Yeah, so it was only score, so I just have to add the score. Of course, that has been updated because it's the score to add that was called initially. And then when you lose, there was no way to restart. I think that was done in the was it somewhere here? Yes, restart button game. So this was false, so just set it to true, active to be true after the game is over, because it's inside the game over function. And then difficulty button, don't change the difficulty level. Why? Because if you see here, think I create a variable here, difficulty, yeah, but then I need to use it somewhere. Of course, I select this game object, then I actually, like when I start it, I divide the spawn rate. There was somewhere here about defining the spawn rate by the difficulty that I've already passed. So depending if I chose like easy, medium, or hard, so 1, 2, 3, I'll just divide. Let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, level 3. So the numbers will just be divided basically by the spawn rates. So then it can like, okay, make it like to spawn faster or to spawn slower. Then that is that about that. And then the game can go on forever. Yeah, it is because there was no time limit set. So there was this time left. Yeah, at the beginning when the game starts, I set it 60 seconds. And then for every frame, I just check, is the game still active? Of course, if it is active, because there was this is active variable set already somewhere. Yeah, it's a boolean. And then I check like, okay, for every second I reduce. Then I check the current time. Of course, you're rounding it off to like 59, 60, 58, and so on. Then the only condition when the game over function will be called is when the time is less than 0 and the game will end. Here is the gameplay. So I can try with easy. You can see the time is counting down. Come, then it's exploding. Come, then it come. Counting also, then game over, because of course it's already 0. So maybe I will start with medium, for example. This. I don't want to click that because it's going to remove my count, my point, this, and of course it's over. Well, let's try with the hard one. Let's say this, another this. Yeah, game over. So yeah, that's the gameplay. I realized that I need to increase the time it takes before it collide with the sensor. Was it not this one somewhere then? Yeah, here I increased it because it was one before, so it was a little bit hard to play, but I still left for this call. So yeah, and of course also here I left because from the code here there was this about moving the object behind the background to touch the sensor, and it depends on the time on screen. So I'm just changing the time on screen here somewhere. Yeah, the time on screen, yes. So that is clear. And of course also there was this condition that if the sensor is colliding with another game object that is not the background, like the cookies and stuff, the stick, so you can also call it game over. So yeah, I think that's that. Thank you very much.